Hello everyone, and welcome back to the final day of our book of notes as we journal the Word. Hey everyone, it is kind of a melancholy day for me today. This is the end. This is our 40th day of this journey that we have been on, and I am very excited about how this class has gone and how things have progressed, and this beautiful book that we have created together so that we can journal the Word moving forward. And today I just want to explain a little bit about how I did this background. It was not going to be possible for me to video the creation of this page while I was doing it, so I'm just going to explain what I did. I just took some navy blue paint and squirted it on a sponge, just a big sponge. The sponge I got was because the size that would fit my feet more than anything. And so I just squirted 3 little puddles of paint on, and I did this to the sponge to move it around. And when everything was pretty much covered, I put it down on some newspaper on the floor, and I stepped on it in a couple of places like this, and then I just put my foot on the page. And it was sticky and gooey, but it did come off. And because our reading today is about the Last Supper, when Jesus actually humbled himself to wash the feet of his apostles. So that's what this page is about. I think it's fitting that we think about that on this Holy Thursday and the end of our little journey together. So what I wanted to do, and all I did then, what I did after I got my foot on there, was there was plenty of paint still left on the sponge, and I just took the sponge and went like this across the page. That's totally all I did. And there was so much paint on here that I was able to get some of my old book pages and some other places and just make marks throughout those so that I can have some of this wonderfulness on pages going forward. You can see what I did here with that. And and on some places, I mean, this lasted forever. I must have done marks on 50 or so pages with what was left on this sponge. That was so cool. And toward the end, it started looking like lines of text. So that even brought in another element. Awesome, awesome, awesome. So that's all you have to do today. And I thought what I would do is just do a little flip through of our 40 days of the book and let you see what mine looks like, and hopefully yours looks very similar. So this was one we didn't do. This was when I started out because day 1 was actually on a Sunday, so we did a Sunday inspiration chat. So I gave you that one free in the printables, but we didn't actually do that one together. That's still one of my faves. Love, love, love that gold on the blue. This was our little collage element where we took the Bridges book, I think, and did that. And what I did on the back here was I named them so I would remember what I called them as I was going through. And this was just our strawberry jam, I think. And this was where I practiced on a piece of just junk mail that I'm going to use in the future. And that's part and parcel of this process of Bible journaling in a junk journaling style. You will be using lots of these pieces of paper, envelopes, all kinds of stuff that you get in the mail that you would normally just dispose of. You're going to be doing some of these techniques on them so you can use them in your book. This is our little window that we did early on a happy little background. And I also I did some index cards with some of our techniques also, just to use up some paint that I may have had left on my tool, and I kept those in the book. So this one was called finger painting. That was fun, wasn't it, doing that? And how fun was this one? Just taking some old buttons and some embroidery floss and making tall, tall flowers. I love that. And that's probably, I don't know, I've got so many favorites in here, but this is definitely one of my very favorites. Let me see if I can get a little more light on this. This circles one. I love, love, love that. And then here was another collage one where we actually used some bits of fabric and trim and postage stamps. That was a fun one. And here is another one where we use circles. I love circles. Circles appear a lot in my art. And this was just an acrylic wash, but when I was doing murals all over the world once in my lifetime, I did that for many years, I always put a bubble. That was my signature. I put a bubble somewhere in my murals and in my faux finishes. So you know that circles are definitely parcel of my artwork. This is another cool one where we did some stamping. I love this one where we actually did like that rubbing on top of a piece of shelf paper. Another kind of fun collage where we did the glory of God. Love that. And this is the one where we took the pieces of torn paper and just accented the edge in the middle of this piece of sheet music. That was kind of cool. And this was just a test page. That was something I was doing. So that doesn't really belong in ours, but it's something that I may do in the future. That was another test page. I love this one where we were stenciling with some modeling paste, I think. Resist stencil with gesso. That was gesso. And the little bird, our little birdie. And this fun one where we did some braille work. I love that. And this one was very cool, our little rainbows. We made a lot of rainbows in this. And that's another one of my faves, very retro looking boxes. Love that abstract. And this is where we took our napkin and made a background. And this is the one where we actually tore pages out of a magazine and made these little pockets in our Bible journal to put little notes and stuff in. And this was one that was a reflection of the sea. And another kind of abstract where, oh, I just love the colors. Love, 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 love the colors. And this was kind of a fun watercolory one with salt. And this one, what have I got on here? Extra pages. Oh, this was a really nice one where we did the coffee stain on the page, and then we did some stenciling over top of that. And another fun flower page. Love it, love it. And abstracts. As we got toward the end, we were doing a little more abstract work, so that was kind of cool. And this is a little tip I'll tell you. If you have a pack of like bobby pins, they're great for holding things on your pages if you want to do that. And this was a color blocking one. We had so much fun with that. And this one is where we did our washy swashes. Another rainbow-esque kind of thing that we did. And this one is where we took the washi tape and we were going to do a resist, but I couldn't resist leaving the washi tape on the page, so that just became the look of that. And this one was our perfume page where we took the side of our card and made those white marks to look like perfume rising. And our first cross was the silhouette. That was an awesome page. Our second cross with the wonderful crayon background. That was cool too. And our final one is the foot page. So this was just fun. This was absolutely a fun journey to take with you all. I loved every minute of it, and I hope you did too. And I hope you have a very blessed weekend and a very blessed Easter time. And I will be back soon with more painting and doodling and sketching and playing and journaling and helping you learn the journal process. So I love you, my beloved friends, for joining me on this journey, and may joy be with you all.